Hi Lake Grove family, Pastor Lillian here with today's devotional. Now in the months of September and October, we are looking at the compassionate life. And in the Reservoir, the compassionate life is described as a life that serves the poor and needy and works for human justice and equity. Now last week, we meditated on God's desire for justice for every person. And this week, we're looking at the source of the compassionate life. Why is serving the poor and working for justice and equity for every person important to us? Well, this week we will look at the vocabulary of the compassionate life. And we will discover that they are all characteristics of God. And it's always crucial to refocus our attention on God, especially when we're talking about justice. Otherwise, it's easy for us to slip into humanistic or anthropocentric morality. And you know the old proverb, the roads to hell is paved with good intentions. Today, we begin by focusing our attention on God of Mishpot. Mishpot is the Hebrew word for justice. And in some places in the Old Testament, Mishpot is translated righteousness. So God of Mishpot, God of justice. Richard Foster observes that Mishpot involves a morality over and above strict legal justice. Now this makes me think of the letter of the law. And when I think of the letter of the law, I'm reminded of the Sermon on the Mount. I was listening to a podcast recently, and they were interviewing Charles E. Moore, and he is the editor of the book called Following the Call. And in this interview, he was talking about the Sermon on the Mount and how often when we come to the Sermon on the Mount or when we look to the Bible, we look to the Bible as a manual or rules to live by. But if we come to the Sermon on the Mount looking for specific instructions on how to behave, Charles Moore reminds us that that is a form of legalism. That is a way that we are keeping to the letter of the law. Instead, he encourages us to come to the Sermon on the Mount as a lover of Jesus. If we don't love Jesus, we will only do what is minimally expected of us. But if we do what is beyond what is expected, we won't do it out of a free and joyful heart. But that's what Jesus wants. Jesus wants us to obey as a lover obeys. So why should we care about Mishpot? Because God is the God of justice. And if we love him, we will love the things he loves. Jeremiah 9, verse 23 says, "This is what the Lord says. Let not the wise boast of their wisdom, or the strong boast of their strength, or the rich boast of their riches. But let the one who boasts boast about this, that they have the understanding to know me, that I am the Lord who exercises kindness, justice, and righteousness on earth. For in these I delight, declares the Lord." Now, one discussion question that really caught my attention in today's reading is what specific practices nourish Mishpot? What specific practices nourish justice? Well, I have one suggestion, and it's don't seek justice for the sake of justice. Seek the Lord of justice.